Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and for today's video is really more so just play with my people, just like more of a curiosity kind of thing where I love technology. And this past few months a big topic in the tech space has been ChatGPT and how it's disrupting the human capital market, like businesses in terms of researchers, writers, journalists, where it's now more so in the future would we need content creators to create articles about places, or we just simply have articles just simply AI curated. And that's a big to do right now, where people are feeling a bit displaced and whatnot. But then I wondered, can ChatGPT really replace human beings when it comes to creating travel content? I don't know. What I did was to then, okay, let's see if you could actually write up an article about obscure places. And so my test was to see if you could write up an article about somewhere in Nigeria, and I chose Ondo State, which is somewhere I went to a couple of years ago. So I'm pretty familiar with some of the facts of the state, and I do have a pretty decent connection with people who live there to ask to verify information. And so I asked, okay, well, let's see what ChatGPT could come up with. So I asked it a pretty simple question, honestly, in my opinion. So it was more so, write a travel blog article on things to do in Ondo State. And when I first asked this question about a month ago, because I actually ran this test last month, and I wanted to see if the AI will keep improving on the information it relays and see what the difference will be in that sense. And so I asked that question about a month ago, and the results I got were 10 bullet points of things to do in Ondo State. Now that's amazing, and it was really well written. It was like, you would think that everything was just exactly facts. It was like, oh, okay, I want to go to Ondo State again. But then in reality, a lot of the points that it brought up were inaccurate, in a sense where number one thing to do in Ondo, according to ChatGPT, is to go to Ikogosi Warm Spring, and that was as of last month's results. And that warm spring is not in Ondo State; it's in a different state entirely, Ekiti State. Second one, explore Idorin Hills. That's facts. It's a great space to go to. But then it then says these ancient hills are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but it's not. And so that was one of those bits then. Number three, take a dip in the Omiapata waterfall. There is no such waterfall in those states. If there is, please correct me. But according to my experience there, people I asked, and also a bit of Google research, it does not exist in Ondo State. There's no such thing. Instead, when you type in that question, or when you type in Omiapata waterfall, it will pull up Erin Jesha waterfall, which is in Osun State, a different state entirely. So there is that one then. Number four, visit Ondo State Museum. Does not exist. There is Owo Antiquities Museum, which is in Olowo of Owo Palace Grounds in Owo, like a town in Ondo, which is not far from Akure. But then Ondo State Museum does not exist. Number five, enjoy day at the beach. Ondo actually has a beautiful strip, like, so that info there actually is accurate. Ilaje Beach, I've been there, and so that is true. It says number six, explore the Owena Dam. This large dam in Akure region is a popular spot for fishing, boating, and picnicking. Now, and this dam offers a great view of surrounding landscape. Owena Dam exists in Ondo, but then Owena has been abandoned for years now. It was just last year that the governor wants to rehabilitate the dam. It is in no way a picturesque or a space you go to go picnic and whatnot. It's just simply an abandoned reservoir of water that needs a lot of work to get it back in working order. So I would not say that's not a place to go to for a tourist. Number seven, visit Ondo National Park. Ondo does not have a national park. So you get the vibe, right? Like, so overall, like many things that it did say, out of the 10 things that it listed, of what you could do. Let's see. So go shopping Akure, that's possible. Akure, but now the garden at Akure Botanical Garden doesn't exist. Olowo of Owo, beautiful place to go to, great history over there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10 are either non-existent or inaccurate information that should not be mentioned as things to do in Ondo, because it's either an abandoned site for the past over a decade, or it's not in Ondo at all. It's a different state entirely. So that's the result I got from my first search inquiry last month. Now for today, I then asked the same question again. Write a travel blog article on things to do in Ondo State. And the first, number one, is to visit Indore Hills. That is true. And unlike the first article, the first result, it doesn't mention that Indore is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So it's correcting itself as it goes. Number two, explore the ancient town of Ilara Moki. I mean, it's a town called Ilara Moki in Ondo State, but then is it a place to go to for tourism? Maybe they do have some festivals there, and they're quite big on deities and whatnot. So maybe, so I'll give that a maybe pass. Number three, relax at Armita Waterfall. Again, kind of like this with Ikogosi, Armita is not in Ondo State, it is in Ekiti State. So wrong place to go to, wrong state, but then worth visiting, but in a different state entirely. Immerse yourself in the history of Ondo State at the Ondo State Museum. Inaccurate still, it is not Ondo State Museum that exists in Ondo. They have Owo Antiquities Museum, which is in Owo town, which is also in Ondo, but then again different museum name entirely. Experience beauty of Ondo's beaches. So yes, Ilaje, definitely. Ijo Beach, I'm not quite sure. I will check and see if that's actually a beach in Ondo State. I know of Ilaje, but then it's a really long strip of land, so maybe they have other axes they have different names for. I don't know. And a new one added onto the list, number 6, attend the Ondo Festival of Arts and Culture. So Ondo State does have a festival of arts that exists, or that did, according to the internet, about 3 or 4 years ago, where it seems that the governor back then, the current governor, wanted to promote the arts of Ondo. But then, like when I checked their online page, the website is no longer working. They have a page on Facebook, but the last post was 2019. So does that festival still exist? I don't know. But then the last news about it was a few years ago. And then number 7, the last one, is to explore the capital city of Akure, which is definitely worth a visit. And that's pretty much it for the ChatGPT information. So with ChatGPT, I will say that the information there that it feeds back when you ask, some bits there are accurate, but for the most part, it will require having to do a lot of work to make sure that everything it's dating is accurate, because some are just simply made up and some are just, the wrong information, maybe the wrong location, the wrong everything. So be very careful if you do rely on ChatGPT for article research or for creating automated blog posts, because for the most part it would then make you become an untrustworthy source. So overall, will I use ChatGPT? Definitely. It's a great way to I used bits of it in my article, actually, where in the second paragraph of the article I did publish last month, I used some of the words about Ondo State, kind of like the intro of Ondo State. I used quite a bit from the blurb that ChatGPT fed back to me. For Indore Hills, I used part of the blurb also to in my own actual article. So it is quite useful to get a bit more prose, a bit more words in an article that sound good and that make an article a bit more like wordy or just sound a bit more informed. But overall, I will be very careful where maybe in the next 6 months or in the next year, it will be able to like feedback more factual information that can be useful or make the lives of, I guess, content creator easier. And so overall, I do see a great value in what it does have to offer. But as of right now, I would not trust it to give well-informed information. It would just simply give you a lot of nonsense. I mean, but it's definitely useful. Like, it's useful in some ways, but then I wouldn't say you should rely on it, not yet. And yeah, don't quit your day job yet. So that's pretty much it. So let me know what you think. If you have used ChatGPT to write articles, where your articles like well informed, do you actually even check to see if it was actually factual? If not, and if so, let me know. I'm curious to see if, to see more of folks who are relying on this to create content, and if it's making their lives much easier, which I presume it would. Just making sure that it's not nonsense you're showing people online. Anywho, it was nice chatting with you guys today. Peace out and cheers or ciao ciao.